Part 1. A rainy night and a stranger's voice. It was a rainy night. The wind was cold and the streets were wet. I was walking home after work. I had no umbrella. My coat was old and it did not keep me warm. I walked with my head down, trying not to step in puddles. The city was quiet. Most people were already home. At that time, I was a young man. I lived alone in a small room. I had no family and I did not have many friends. My days were simple. I went to work, I walked home, and I ate dinner alone. I did not talk to many people. My life was quiet, but sometimes I felt very lonely. That night, something happened. As I walked through the rain, I heard footsteps behind me. They were fast. I turned around quickly. A woman was running toward me. Her clothes were wet. Her face looked pale. She was breathing hard. She looked very tired. She ran to me and said, "James." Her eyes were wide and full of hope. She grabbed my hand and held it tight. "James, I finally found you," she said. I was surprised. My name is not James. I did not know this woman. But she looked at me like she knew me very well. Her eyes were full of tears. She smiled, but it was a sad smile. "I've been looking for you for so long," she said. Her voice was soft, but it was full of feeling. I wanted to tell her that I was not James. I tried to speak. I'm sorry. I think you made a mistake." "I'm not James," I said. But she didn't seem to hear me. Or maybe she didn't want to hear me. She hugged me. Her arms were cold and shaking. She cried on my shoulder. "Please," she said, "don't leave me again." I did not move. I stood there, still and quiet. I let her cry. I looked at her. She was in pain. I could feel her sadness. It felt heavy, like a weight on my chest. In that moment, I felt something inside me. I wanted to help her. I wanted to make her feel better. I thought about saying I was James, just to give her comfort. But I knew that would be a lie. I could not lie to her. "I'm really sorry," I said again. "I'm not James." She stepped back. Her face changed. She looked confused. She looked hurt. "No," she said. "You look just like him. You must be James. You can't be anyone else." I didn't know what to say. I felt bad, even though I did nothing wrong. Her eyes looked at me like I had broken her heart. She stood in the rain. Her hair was wet. Her hands were shaking. She looked at me and asked, "If you're not James, then who are you?" I told her my name, but it did not seem to matter to her. She just stood there, looking lost. I wanted to help. I could not just walk away. I asked her, "Can I help you? Do you need anything?" She looked down and said quietly, "James was my brother. He disappeared many years ago. I've been searching for him ever since." Her voice broke a little when she spoke. I could feel her pain. The rain kept falling. The street was still quiet. There were no other people around. I thought for a moment. Then I said, "There's a small cafe near here. Maybe we can go inside. We can sit down and talk. It's warm there." She did not speak, but after a moment, she nodded. We started walking together. We didn't talk. We just walked slowly in the rain, side by side. I didn't know who she really was. She didn't know who I was. But in that moment, we were not strangers. We were two people with pain. Two people walking through the rain, together. Part 2. Tea, tears, and a story from the past. The cafe was small and quiet. There were soft yellow lights on the walls. The warm air inside felt nice after the cold rain. We sat down at a small table by the window. Outside, the rain still fell, but it was soft now. The sound of the rain was gentle. The woman sat across from me. She looked out the window. Her hands were shaking. She did not say anything. I did not say anything either. I just sat with her. Sometimes, silence is better than words. A waiter came to our table. I ordered 2 cups of tea. She nodded, but she still looked far away, like her thoughts were in the past. I looked at her face. It was tired. Her eyes looked like they had cried many times. After a few minutes, she looked at me. Her voice was quiet. "I'm sorry," she said. "I didn't mean to scare you, it's just, you look so much like him." I nodded. "It's okay," I said. "You must miss him very much." She gave a small smile. It was a sad smile, but it was real. The tea came. The cups were warm. She held her cup with both hands. Her fingers were cold, but the tea helped. We sat in silence for a moment. Then I asked, "Can you tell me about James?" She looked surprised. Then she nodded slowly. "James was my big brother," she said. "He was kind. He was strong. When I was scared, he held my hand. He told me everything will be okay." Her voice was soft and slow. I listened carefully. "One day," she continued, "James left. He went to another town to look for work. He said he would come back soon. But he didn't come back." She looked down at her tea. "We waited. My family waited for a long time. But we never heard from him again. It was like he disappeared." She paused. Her hands were shaking again. She took a deep breath. "My parents hoped every day. They believed he would return. But after a few years, they both passed away. They died still waiting for James." Her voice broke when she said that. Her eyes were full of pain. "I kept looking for him," she said. "I traveled to many places. I asked many people. I showed his picture. But nobody knew anything." She reached into her bag and took out a small photo. It was old and a little faded. She handed it to me. "This is James," she said, "and this is me when I was a child." In the photo, I saw a young man with a kind smile. Next to him was a little girl holding his hand. I looked at the photo for a while. Yes, the man looked a little like me. I understood why she thought I was him. I gave the photo back to her. "You've been very strong," I said. "You never gave up." She shook her head slowly. "I don't know if I'm strong," she said. "Maybe I was just afraid to let go. I didn't want to forget him." We sat quietly again. The cafe was peaceful. The rain outside was slowing down. It felt like the world was calm for a moment. I thought about something. Then I said, "I write in a notebook sometimes. When I feel sad or lonely, I write about my memories. It helps me feel better. Maybe you could try that too." She looked at me. For a moment she didn't say anything. Then she smiled. "I always carry a notebook," she said. "But I never write in it." She reached into her bag again and pulled out a small notebook. It was clean. The pages were empty. She opened it and looked at the first page. "Maybe tonight is the right time to start," she said. We both smiled a little. The pain was still there, but something had changed. It felt like the first step to healing. We sat there in the quiet cafe, two people with different lives, sharing the same moment. It was something simple, but it meant a lot. Part 3. Healing Without Answers. We stayed in the cafe for a long time. Outside, the rain had stopped. The night was quiet and calm. She looked at her tea, and I looked at her face. There was still sadness there, but also a small light of hope. I asked her softly, "Have you ever thought about what you would say to James if you saw him again?" She did not answer at first. Then she looked down and said, "I would tell him that I missed him every day. I would say I forgive him for leaving. And I would tell him that I only want to see him one last time." Her words were simple but full of feeling. I thought about the people I had lost in my life. There were many things I never said to them. Sometimes words are too hard to find. I told her, sometimes we carry pain for a long time, even when we do not have answers. But the love you have for James is real. That love never leaves. She nodded slowly. "Maybe it is time to stop searching," she said. "Maybe it is time to keep him in my heart and remember the good times." Her face looked softer. The heavy weight on her shoulders seemed a little lighter. We sat quietly for a while. Then she reached out and held my hand. "Thank you," she said softly. "Thank you for listening to me. Talking with you felt like talking with James. Maybe that is what I needed." I smiled and said, I am glad I could help, she smiled back. It was a real smile, warm and kind. Days passed, and I went back to the cafe many times. She never came again, but her story stayed with me. She had searched for years for someone she loved. She shared her pain with a stranger, and in a way, that pain became mine too. That night, I learned something important. Even a short meeting can change a person's life. Even strangers can bring light to dark times. Even if we do not find what we are looking for, we can find something else connection. Now, as an old man, I still think about her. I do not know her name, but her story is part of me. I hope she found peace, and I hope I gave her something too. She gave me the greatest gift, the reminder that we are never truly alone. We are all connected by love, pain, and kindness. Thank you for listening to this story from beginning to end. It is a simple story about two people, a man and a woman, who met by chance on a rainy night. Both were lonely and carried deep pain inside their hearts. The woman was searching for her lost brother, James, for many years. The man was not James, but he listened with kindness and gave her comfort. Together, for a short time they shared sadness and hope. Though they were strangers, their meeting changed both of their lives forever. This story teaches us an important lesson. Sometimes, life does not give us all the answers we want. We may lose people we love or face pain that never fully goes away. But even in sadness, connection with others can heal us. Listening and kindness can bring light to dark moments. We do not have to be alone with our pain. We can share it with others and find strength together. You can use this lesson in your own life. When you see someone who seems lonely or sad, try to listen and be kind. Small acts of caring can make a big difference. Also, remember that it is okay to feel pain and to take time to heal. Writing your feelings or talking to someone you trust can help you find peace. Most importantly, know that we are all connected through our hopes and struggles. By listening to this story, you have taken a step to improve your English listening and understanding skills. Practice like this helps you learn new words and feel more confident. Keep practicing every day. You are doing great. Thank you for your answer. Please subscribe to our channel to support us. Your support gives us energy and motivation to make more good stories for you to learn English. If you like our work and want to help us continue, you can also donate. We work hard to create these free lessons to help you learn better. At the beginning, it is not easy to make good content, but your support means a lot to us. Thank you for being with us. Keep learning and have a great day.